and welcome to the world of ham radio. I'm Chad Linden, N5BMU. So, before I get going, because I'm filming this at 7:20 is when I've started this actual video. Based on the propagation video I did, I want to make a couple corrections here. Now, the sun is down, so we have no D layer. And if you remember, the E layer is a little bit thinner, but it stays in place. And then the F1 and the F2 combined. So we'll just pull one of those out there. So we have now a true representation of what's going on above the Earth at the time of this video, which is after the sun has gone down. I know that many of you have seen the post that I did pass my ham radio exam. I am now an amateur extra class operator. The main reason I decided to upgrade is, well, first and foremost, I wanted a challenge because my knowledge base, I felt I was getting to the end of it, and I wanted a little bit more of a challenge. And that extra class study book and the test questions and me having to learn answers and whatnot, that gave me a challenge and actually gave me some knowledge too. But in the middle of me studying this extra class book of going through different things, my brother, who is has two ham licenses, one for Canada and one for America, he came to visit, and we did this new program that he introduced me into called Parks on the Air. Now I'm going to show this on screen, and I'm going to look back on it before I post it. So I'm hoping that that's showing what the screen looks at. But if it doesn't end up showing up well, you can just look up Parks on the Air and Google it, and it should show you the website. But basically, national parks are all registered on this website that was built for this event. And well, not an event, but it's just a program for doing ham radio and contacts and whatnot. And essentially, you go to a park or a national park area. Like I can go anywhere in the Modoc National Forest and register myself under that particular number. And you register yourself and the frequency that you're on, and you try to make contacts, and you get different recognition for how many contacts. Or I haven't read it up on it completely on it yet, but as far as all the awards that you can get. But I'm actually having a lot of fun doing that because it's stretching me out a little bit. Before I was just working weekly nets, and it was on one channel one time a day, and I always knew how the propagation was going to be relatively. But this is give me some initiative to go out there and deploy my my remote antenna and set up that radio on battery power and tune around and make sure I know that I can remember how to tune to a different band, and the process involved with that is a little bit more in depth than I thought it was, although not that in depth. Once you know it, it's actually fairly simple. Just remember all the steps. So in the process of doing all this, I came up across a time where my radio was not transmitting. I was showing power out on the radio, but I was not getting my signal out. And to spare you the long story, I essentially found out that it was not the radio itself, but it was my antenna cables. So with the tests that I've done, I've taken my radio out to the backyard where my antenna is actually erected, up in a back field behind my house, and I plugged directly off the first line coming off the antenna. The antenna line, the coax cable connects up to the top of my inverted V, which is like between 20 and 30 feet in the air. So I connected off of that, and I was able to make my contact, send and receive. Actually, I've been receiving the whole time, but send my signal out. I did a couple of CQs, and I was actually surprised that I had an answer back, and that was from the station in Seattle. But did a CQ out there right off the first line off the antenna, and everything works fine. So I confirmed that it was not my antenna, and it was not my radio, but it was actually my coax. And come to find out that the coax that I was using, I thought was like 2 or 3 links with these little connectors in the middle of it. But it was actually more than that. So I'm in the process of right now of finding some different coax, putting some new ends on it, and I'm going to attempt to make it one length from the antenna to my radio, and that way cut down on the confusion. So I was very thankful, although I did some research about how to do it, that I was not having to send my my big HF rig to ICOM to have it repaired. So did some continuity tests with my voltmeter, and well, I can show you that here. Essentially, you'll take one end of your leads and you'll connect it to the outward pin, and then the other end of the lead will go to the other side of that particular length. And as long as you have no resistance on your voltmeter, that means it's good. And you do the same thing with the outside too. Negative or positive on one end, and negative or positive on the other end. So I confirmed that it had good continuity, but it was that apparently doesn't test everything. So like I said, because I made a confirmed contact, one of them was Parks on the Air, and one of them was just a direct CQ. A couple of more of them were nets that I always check into. So I had these definite places that I knew people were going to be on, and in my mind, that's what the nets are for: is to test your rigs and radio and antennas and whatnot. So, but anyway, I just wanted to check in with you guys and let you know where I'm at. Another note is because of my upgrade to extra class, I have applied for an extra class vanity call sign. So it's been submitted to the W5YI group. It's been submitted to the FCC. I can see that the pending transaction or request, whatever you call it, is on the FCC website, but I am still officially N5 BMU. So I don't know all the process that they go through to make it happen or whatever, what the timeline is, but they say anywhere from 18 to 20 days between the time you submit it and the time that it happens. So when that happens, I will no longer be N5 BMU, but I will be Alpha Bravo 6 Charlie Lima. And I picked that one because it's an extra class call sign with the extra class formatting. And also I picked it because the last 2 letters are my initials, Chad Linden. So any of you who have the ability to get on HF, whether it be your class of license, and hey, technician guys, you do have privileges on HF. If you have access to a radio, you can get on 10 meters. Look up your 10 meter privileges, because you can get on 10 meters and you got voice privileges on 10 meters. So look those up. If you have access to an HF rig and you want to get on there. But any of you guys who are general class or above, try out that Parks in the Air program. It's actually pretty fun to go around and listen to people. Like I said, when I was having trouble with my antenna, I was trying to figure out what was going on. I heard a lot of people on Parks on the Air. I was not able to talk to too many of them when I was in the process of figuring it out. But Parks on the Air is a really big thing, and if you like making contacts, like making new, for me, it's just a way to practice my skills, deploying my antenna, setting up my radio. I do a little bit of chasing. Some people will stay in one channel and wait for the contact. I tend at this point to watch the website and chase frequencies. I'll go back and forth to this frequency, that frequency, and I'm still figuring out a system, to be perfectly honest. But Parks in the Air, it's a really fun program. Even if you're not interested in it, I encourage you to look it up. And I'll try to let people know when I'm doing a Parks in the Air, because if you're not in a park, you can still answer me and get credit for that, and I can get credit for you answering me. So it's just a fun thing, another element, another vehicle, if you will, to make communications with our particular hobby. So so let's see here. It looks like I've been rambling on for about 11 minutes. So I will say goodbye for now. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions about videos, please put them in the comments. Also, if you would like and share my page, I would really appreciate it. It gets it out there for more people to enjoy the world of ham radio. But until then, we will see you on the other side. So this is Chad Linden, N5BMU, and take care.